Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is D Card Lady coming at you. All right, today we're going to talk about how to start an online business from scratch, part three. All right, now just a little recap. We went over in the last couple sessions, we went over being able to use what we call the soap opera sequence, okay, when you're crafting your story, because you want to start off when you're building your business online, you want to start off with your actual message, right? You want to have certain things in place before you ever run traffic. And the part that we're on right now is really setting up our autoresponder as far as our emails. All right, because you want to have those already set up. So that way, when you get all the way to the step of, putting out your funnel, pushing traffic, whether you're using YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, it doesn't matter, right? When people are opting into your page, they actually have something that can help them relate to you. Because even though we like people to sign up for something right away, like the very first time they see something, most people don't sign up right away, right? Most people don't sign up right away. It's after they receive your emails and your other postings that they decide to, go ahead and jump on board and sign up with you. So that's why we're definitely doing this section here. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to kind of show you some emails that I crafted just to kind of give you guys an idea. Now, what I want to make sure that you understand is that all of this is an art, okay? Marketing is an art, okay? Copywriting is an art. And when I say copywriting, that means crafting your message. It's an art. Okay, so with that being said, it's not something that you just kind of do one time and it's like, oh, I'm done and I'll never have to think about it again. It's something that you will need to perfect over time. Now, with that being said, do understand this, okay? Because a lot of times when we start online, we're trying to get everything perfect, right? And we wind up trying to get everything perfect and we wind up not getting much done, all right? So I don't want that to happen to you. Don't think about, oh, I don't know if my message is perfect. I don't know if I should use it, and then you wind up where that kind of stalls your business for like another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a couple months. Don't do that. All right. Done. I want you to remember this. Done is better than perfect, right? Perfect could take you years. Done is you completing the task, it's there, and you will always have the ability to tweak it as you go and to make changes as you go. But you don't want to get stuck on this one step at this beginning stage of, oh, I don't know if my emails are good enough. I don't want to move on to the next stage until this is perfect. Don't worry about it being perfect. Worry about being consistent, meaning that you're going to have to, tweak what you do and, hone your craft, if you will, basically get better at copywriting. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is really quick. Let me recap. Let me share my screen with you real quick. All right. As we recap what we went over as far as, let me show you here and I'll get to those emails. All right. As far as what we talk about the soap opera sequence. Now, hopefully you guys have had a chance to pick up the book, what this is in, .com secrets. All right. If you haven't, I'll make sure that I put a link down below. Okay, so you can go ahead and grab that. Okay, so you can go ahead and grab the .com secrets. You can grab that totally free. All right, you just pay for the shipping and handling. All right, but that's where you're gonna find this soap opera sequence that we are working on. All right, and like I said, it's going to be something that you put together. All right, and you will tweak it as you go, but don't put it together and work on tweaking it for like weeks and never do anything. Put it together, move forward to the next step, and you will be able to tweak it every day. You'll be able to tweak that email sequence that you come up with, but do not let it stop you because you think yours is not good enough. Done is better than perfect. All right. So let me go ahead and share another page with you. All right. So I want to show you what I put together on mine. Now, remember that soap opera sequence that we just saw, remember it has, day 5, right? So that doesn't mean that you need 5 emails. It means it could take 5 emails. You may be able to get this done in 3 emails. It may take you 7 emails. All right. It doesn't matter how many emails it takes you to craft the story, but this is just the framework that you want to use. Okay. But it may be more or less emails that you need. Okay. So I'm going to show you my first draft of what I'm using for my soap opera sequence. Okay. Now, notice on my first email that goes out is not one of my soap opera sequence because I actually tell the people, that I'm going to give them something. So if you tell a person writing an email that you're going to give them something, give it to them in the first email. not on your first email. I mean, if you tell them something when you're on your funnel, that you say, hey, you opt in here and I'm going to give you something, or I'm going to do something for you, then do that, right? That's whatever your first email would be, you know, basically fulfilling on your promise. Whatever you said you were going to do that. If you told them you were going to give them a way to reach out to you, then do that, right? Then you will go into your soap opera sequence, right, where they get to know you. And that's where I am here, and I just labeled it SOS1. All right, and I'm just gonna open it up and show you what I wrote, so that way you get an idea. You know, you never want to try and copy someone's email word for word, because think about it, guys. This right here is my story, but that doesn't mean it's your story. It's not your story, right? It's my story. Everyone has their own story, right? Everyone has their own story and their own message, right? But I wanted to kind of, you know, give you guys an idea that you can do this, right? We all can do this, and over time you'll get better and better and better at it, but you don't have to be perfect to start. Just start, literally just start, okay? So I'm going to show you what I have here. All right, this is the first one. It says, and I'll read it to you because the screen is probably too small for you to read it, you know, the way that you're looking at it. It says, it was January 1st, 2018. Another morning, I rise at the crack of dawn. Back aching, wrist sore, knees cracking. Man, something had to give. Just thinking about what my days would look like with enduring more years of the same old physical punishment on my body made tears fall from my eyes. Now, at this point, I'm kind of evoking that emotion, right, from them. I'm letting them kind of feel what I was feeling, right, or what I had felt, okay? And then I say, I had thought about shifting my career a long time ago, but what could I do at age 40? No degree, no large bank account, very few family members that supported my goals, well, except for mom, of course, LOL. I was in a pickle, to say the least. Here's the reality. Did my auto repair biz pay the bills? Yes. Was I good at it? Well, they don't call me D-Car Lady for nothing, LOL. So what's the issue? I didn't have true freedom, that time freedom to really live life and enjoy what I was doing. That passion flame had burnt out some time ago. Not to mention the body can only take so much physical abuse. Right? And I'm using words that I'm talking in a way that I talk, right? You want to use language that you use, however you talk, right? I'm talking in words that I actually use. Like I literally would say, right? You know, so that person, whoever's reading my emails, gets an opportunity to really, you know, dive deep into who I am. It's not something that I made up, okay? Now I go on to say, here's the reality. I go on to say, so yeah, I was definitely in need of a serious change ASAP. And then I just inserted the person's name just to, you know, make sure they know I'm talking, you know, to them, right? And I says, I bet you're feeling something very similar to how I felt on that January 1st, 2018. Well, I did what I set out to do. I made a change. I'll tell you more about how I was able to get my passion back and really live life on my terms. Stay tuned for the next email tomorrow. P.S. You can see more of how I've developed and really come into my own here on my YouTube channel. Check it out and subscribe if you can relate. Talk soon. All right, so basically, I let them know that I'm going to be sending them another email the next day, right? So that way they'll know what to expect. And then as a PS, I just invited them to check me out on Facebook, right? I didn't give them a link at this point, a link back to the opportunity at this point. I'm just letting them have the opportunity to get to know me. That's what this first email is about, them getting to know me versus, you know, me just go ahead and spamming them, you know, with the opportunity itself, right? Because people join people, like people buy from people, right? People join people and people buy from people. So this method works even if it's a physical product, right? Even if you're selling widgets, right? Because you got to think about it. They can buy that widget from anybody. They can buy it from Joe Blow's store, right? They can buy that widget, right? But you want them to buy that widget from you, or you want them to join this business opportunity with you. So they, you know, people want to know who are they doing business with, right? And if they have a better understanding of the type of person they're doing business with, and they can relate to you a little bit more than they can relate to Joe, right? Then they're going to buy from you or join you before they'll join Joe. All right, so that's the first one. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull up this second one, because I'm going to show you, I actually constructed mine into 3. And like I said, this is my first, you know, round at it that I have here. But that doesn't mean, okay, that doesn't mean that you can't make multiples, because you obviously, you have multiple stories, right? So you make multiples, but you have to start, right? That's the biggest thing, you know, with anything that you do. especially in entrepreneurship, is you have to start. Don't get stuck not starting. Okay. So let's go on to number 2, and we'll pull this up and I'll show you what I have here for number 2. All right. And I actually have this sequence, this 3-part sequence already downloaded into one of my autoresponders as well. And I'm just using Getresponse at the moment for this one. All right. So I'm actually, already testing this one as well. So let's go ahead and open this up. Go to the next step. And I'll read this one to you as it pulls up. All right. It says, as a kid, I was the one who would have been voted most likely to succeed if there had been a vote. My family was poor and lived in the lower income areas and most of my life, but I managed to get good grades in school and excel in extracurricular activities as well. I grew up with the notion that in order to be successful in life, I needed to go to school, get good grades, go to college, get a JLB. Yeah, that all-American dream, right? Now, what I did right there is I'm telling them my story, but I'm also relating it to something that they probably can relate to. Like there are a lot of people who were fed the same story as far as, you go to school, you get good grades, and then you go to college, and then you're going to wind up with this fabulous job that's going to like pay you like so well, right? So I'm putting in there things about myself, but also things about myself that my reader, right, based on me targeting my audience, my reader can probably relate to as well. And at this point, it's like making them think like, wow, somebody, they fed me that story too, man. I can kind of feel where you're coming from, D-Car Lady, right? And that's what you want. That's what you want in your emails. All right, so I go on to say, well, as a young adult, I learned rather quickly that things don't really work out that way. So by the age of 25, I was $25K in student loan debt, would be with only a fast food job to pay the bills. That glorious job I thought would be waiting in my near future did not reveal itself to me or even a resemblance of it. So yeah, I cut my losses and stopped racking up the student loan debt. No degree for me, no rosy end in sight. I tried different jobs. I tried even running a brick and mortar biz, hence the D-Car Lady brand and auto repair shop. But the issue was that so much of my time was engulfed by all of it. It became smothering. All right. So basically what I did in that part of my email is I'm also hitting one of the points that they probably can relate to is people have, there's a lot of people out there who have tried things already. They're like, oh man, maybe I'll get a second job, or oh man, maybe I'll try this business. And they've tried things and those things haven't worked out for them. They've felt failure. Right. So I am appealing to that part of them that they too have felt failure. Some people are like on the brink of giving up even, before they opt into your page. OK, so that is the emotion that I'm appealing to with that part of the email. All right. I says, and then I go on to say, it wasn't until I was pursuing some videos on YouTube that I watched a guy talk about making money online from the comfort of your home. Oh, really? Is what I thought. I wondered what it would be like to actually earn an income without having to punish my body daily lifting heavy engines or even leave my house. So I was intrigued, to say the least. This is the first time I heard the term affiliate marketing. So this is what I want to share with you on my next email. Basically tell you how I went from that broken soul that had worked tirelessly for years to the person I am now that can really enjoy life and help people in the process. Priceless. Stay tuned as I show you how you can make the same change in your life as I did. Talk soon. All right, once again, I'm setting them up, letting you know, hey, this is what I'm going to talk about on my next email. So you definitely want to stay tuned. I'm letting them know a little bit about the epiphany I had, which in my case was affiliate marketing. And notice, guys, the reason why you can't like just kind of copy, when we're doing like email swipes, the reason why you can't just swipe stuff like this, right, is because this literally is my story, right? I can tell this, like the back of my hand. I could tell that story because it's mine. And your story is going to be whatever your story is, right? Now, when we get into talking about the company or whatever product it is you're promoting, now, yes, you can get some of those emails from your teammates and everything like that, because those emails are going to be very similar because it's all talking about the company. But when it comes to talking anything about you, right, and that's what you need to do. When it comes to talking about you, right, those emails you can't quote unquote swipe because that's not your story. If your backstory is not that you were raised and it was a low income area, raised by a single parent, that you were in the automotive industry. That's not your story. It's not your story, but your story is unique, and it's what makes you unique, and that's the value in it. Okay. So let's go ahead and go over to the next email that I wrote, which is the last one I did. I did I summed it up in 3 emails, personally, on this particular one. Like I said, it's something that you want to continue to work with. All right. But once you do the first one, I'm gonna tell you, the first set of these is the hardest, because you're like, I've never done that before. What in the world do you mean I have to write about myself, right? The first one is like the first set is the hardest, but I promise you, once you keep doing it, right, as you move forward with your business, you'll have that set. You'll be able to put that in your autoresponder, right? But then you'll come back to it each day. You're gonna be writing an email each day, and over time. And when I say over time, I'm not talking about like years. I'm talking about maybe the first 30 days. I mean, it doesn't take long. It's about the consistency and the repetition, right? Of you doing that, going over the emails, going back to the example, of the download that I gave you guys, which is this one right here, the soap opera sequence. And also, continuing your education as far as copywriting, definitely by picking up that book, all right, Secrets, okay? But it's through doing all of that, your message is going to get better and better, and you're going to have multiple messages, okay? Because you have multiple stories, right? You're not a, single faceted person, right? So you have multiple things to talk about. So you're going to be able to construct your stories a lot easier than it may have taken you the very first time around. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you this is the last one that I have here. Okay, so let me open it up. All right, and go over here so we can go ahead and open it up. And I'm just using Getresponse. You can use whatever autoresponder you want, but I'm just using Getresponse. It's pretty simple to use. That's why I like it. So I'll make sure I leave a link down below for Getresponse as well for you to rock out on that. All right. Now, this is the last one I said. So in the last email, I told you that I show you how I went from being broke down in spirit to having an epiphany of sorts. And that epiphany was affiliate marketing. I had checked out many business opportunities to see what was the best fit for someone like me who did not have any experience at all. I can honestly say that what I decided was the best thing since sliced bread for a newbie like me. Check it out here. So since this is my last email, this is where I'm actually linking them back to the opportunity, because this is my last email. Now, if I had a 5 email sequence, then I would link them back on the 5th email. If I had a 7 email sequence as it relates to the part that I'm talking about myself, the soap opera sequence, right? If I had 7, then I would link them back to my opportunity on the 7th one, right? So you don't want to do it too soon, right? You want them to be able to get a chance to get to know you a little bit before you start linking them back to your opportunity, okay? So I linked them back to my opportunity here. And I say, I learned that I could actually earn a lucrative income without sacrificing the precious time with my family. I didn't have to be some guru genius to make this work. And most importantly, my bones on my 40-year-old body definitely thanked me for this epiphany of sorts. LOL. Now, notice I keep mentioning the date that it was when I, first started. I remember I said January of 2018. And notice that I'm saying my age in there, okay? Because for one, I'm telling the date because it's accurate, but also two, it is recent. Other people probably, started in 2017 or 2016 or 2015, but they're going through the same thing. And then by putting my age in here, once again, I'm relating to my audience. The majority of people that are listening to me and are likely to sign up are in that age range. It's not 18-year-olds, right? Okay, those are like the one-offers, like, oh, I know somebody who signed up and they're 18, that's a one-offer, right? You know what I mean? That's like a unicorn type situation. Typically, the people who are following me are people who they've already tried some things, they're working, they don't want to do the 9-to-5 thing, they don't care how many hours they got to work, they just want to do it for themselves, right? And they want to eventually have that, sense of security and everything like that. So I'm talking to my age group, that I'm also targeting is my point. So the only way they're going to know my age is if I tell them. The only way they're going to know any of this is if I tell them. So if you have a person who's probably like, let's say anywhere from like 33 to like maybe 50, somewhere around there, they're like, oh man, yeah, I can relate, because their mindset is probably similar to mine at the age of 40, right? All right, now I say, so definitely Take charge of your life like I did. Don't settle for being overworked and overwhelmed with feelings of despair. Instead, start having feelings of hope and prosperity from this day forward, my friend. Today is a new beginning for you, and it starts right here. So notice that, because it's my last email, I'm being very uplifting, right? Giving, trying to basically invoke in them some hope, right? So that they can have hope that they can actually succeed. All right. Because you don't want people to feel sad the whole way through, right? Just like, you don't want it to end up on your last, email and it kind of sounds like, oh man, well, it sucked for her, so it's going to suck for me and I might as well not do it, right? You don't want people to have that feeling. You want them to, give them an insight of your struggle, but also give them that bright spot, right? Like, hey, this is what it was, but that's not the way it stayed, and it doesn't have to stay that way for you. Okay, and I linked them out to my opportunity, and I say much success. P.S. If you haven't gotten inside the Facebook group yet, what are you waiting for? And then I linked them out to my Facebook group. Now, do you have to use a Facebook group in your emails? No. Whatever call to action that you want to have is what you put. Okay, it doesn't matter if you have a Facebook group, doesn't matter if you want to link them out to your instant messenger, doesn't matter if you just want to send them to your opportunity, so that way they can go ahead and see that this is the last email. So don't get caught up on, oh, I don't have a Facebook group to send them out to. I just happen to have one, so I invite people to it, but that is not something that is like a requirement to do this SOS, this soap opera email sequence. It is not a requirement to do that at all. All right. So I just wanted to show you guys, all right, what one would look like. Okay. And once again, guys, do not worry if it's a matter of, let's say you did your first round of emails and you're like, oh man, I don't know, my email looks crappy or whatever. Don't worry about that. Because remember what I said, done is better than perfect. So with that being said, what I want you guys to do, let me go ahead and stop this share really quick. All right. What I want you guys to do, all right, with the emails that you have, all right, I just want you to proofread them, meaning just make sure that your spelling and punctuation and everything like that is accurate. I just want you to proofread them. All right. And then whether you have 3, whether you have 5, whether you have 7, that's totally fine. All right. But what I want you to do at this point is I want you to actually take those emails, right? Take those emails, right? And just look over the original story that you wrote. Remember, you wrote the original story before you made the emails. And I just want you to make sure that they are in line with that. Okay? I don't want you to rewrite them all over. Don't start all over from scratch, right? Just make sure they're in line with whatever story you had originally. Make sure those emails are in line. All right? So that's one thing. Now, that should be a really quick task if you've done, the homework, like I know you have, right? That should be a quick task for you to do. All right? And then we'll move on to our next task. So notice that everything that we do is kind of going to build on, build off of what we did previously and kind of build onto that. All right, until we get to the stage where our online business is built, from scratch, right? And then of course we'll go on to promoting after that. All right. So just make sure that that story is congruent with those email sequences that you came up with, whether it was 3 emails, 5 emails, 7 emails, if it took you 10 emails, it is what it is, right? That's what I want you to do. And wherever you link out to, okay, on your last email, wherever you link out to, you may say, oh, well, I don't have a page built, for your opportunity. Okay, don't worry about it. In that space, you can just put link goes here. So that way you can remember to go back in there and put in a link once we get to the actual part about just putting your page together, putting your capture page together, your funnel. All right, so don't worry about it right now. All right, if you don't already have that, put together, don't worry about it. All right, and the other thing that we're going to do to have ready for our next session, because there's 2 more types of emails that we want to work on. Okay, one type of email is talking about value. It's basically how you can provide value through your emails. All right, and the other one is probably the one that you're most familiar with, is the selling part, right? That's one that you're probably most familiar with. A lot of you, if you're on a particular team, probably the swipes that you get from different business opportunities when you join, a sponsor or something, probably the email swipes you get are probably the sales ones, right? Where they're just like, hey, this is an awesome opportunity, and you sign up here, and and here's your income potential and everything like that. That's probably the sales emails that you get in the email swipe. But those are the next 2 that we're going to talk about. And the reason being, because once you finish your your soap opera email sequence, right? Basically, you know, the ones that are kind of letting a person know about you, right? That's where you can start to mix in value and promotion. Promotion is the ones that you're selling, where you're selling, you know, you're selling your opportunity. Value is where you're providing more value. All right. So those are the next two types that we're going to talk about. All right. Now, also, I want you to keep this in mind, okay, that you want to be sending out way more value than promotion. You don't want to just keep spamming people like every day saying, join me, 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 value, join me, join me, join, right? Because at some point they're going to stop listening and stop opening and stop reading, right? And you don't want that to happen, right? You want them to look forward to your emails, actually get some insight from it, because that's, once again, that's going to draw them closer to you and want them to buy your widget, or you know, take you up on your service, buy your service, or join you in business. That's what that's going to do. So the two type of emails that we're going to do for next time are going to be the value emails, and we're going to talk about the selling emails. Okay. Now those are going to be they're not going to be as in depth as the soap opera sequence, right? Because they're really not that difficult. But it's two types that we're going to talk about. Now let me show you. All right. Because I want you to be able to have this, you know, actually do this. So let me show you a site that I go to, and this is just one of many. I swear there are like so many ways you can get value emails, but this is one way you can get value emails. Okay, this is just one way. All right, and let me explain. A value email is basically an email based on something that you've learned that you can teach or tell someone else and help them with, right? And it literally will help them get to a result, whether it be you teaching someone how to, let's say, how to upload their video on YouTube, right? Depending on what your audience is. And ours is to make money online, so everybody needs to know how to market, right? That's just an example of some value. It can be, it could piggyback off of a Facebook post that you made. You might have made a, you know, what we call a long Facebook post, right? But it was, you know, very, very valuable, right? You can use that. But let me show you a site that I use, all right? And I'll just put in a person's name, a influencer's name, and I'll put in blog. Here's an example. I may say Grant Cardone, right? I really like his stuff. I may say Grant Cardone blog, okay? All right. And what you want to do is you do not want to copy anyone's stuff, right? You want to get an idea, right? You want it to kind of give you an inspiration of what to talk about, right? If you're like, you know, really drawing a blank, okay? You want to get an inspiration of what to talk about. So sometimes I'll go to his blog and there's like literally, you know, thousands of people who are influential people who have blogs, and they actually talk about great things. All right, so let me see one. You won't get hijacked hitting the gym once, or you won't get jacked hitting the gym once. All right, this is a blog that I actually liked, okay, of his. Not saying I don't like the others, but I actually like this one. All right, so I'm going to open this one up, and this is literally what you could do with anyone's blog. You want to, and the reason why I'm going to influencers, people who are in our niche, Grant Cardone is in our niche, right? And influencers, they already have a large following, so that probably means they already are saying stuff that's valuable. So you don't have to like recreate the wheel. You find out where these people are, right, just by typing in their name blog, because they probably do have a blog, right? And then you just literally read their blog for inspiration. I repeat, do not copy and paste people's words. Do not do that and then get hemmed up, right? Don't get hemmed up for plagiarism. But you literally can get inspiration this way by looking at what they're talking about, right? Here's a bullet point. Now you want to read the whole blog, but here's a bullet point. All difficulties can be overcome by the right amount of effort, persistence, right? So you already know that he's talking about sticking with it, right? Not giving up. You already know the fact that he said you won't get jacked hitting the gym once. Now you know, so okay, basically what he's saying is you're talking about you want to get buffed, right? That's what he means by jack. You want to get buffed, but you're going to go to the gym one time and like, man, why didn't I get any muscles? Or, you know, why didn't I lose any weight? And you went to the gym one time, right? So you already know that you can tell by those two sentences, you can tell that's what he's talking about, right? So you understand that, hey, man, that's accurate. That's on point for our particular niche, right? That's on point. The mindset, man, you know, thinking that it's going to happen and all you did is do something one time. Okay, this is value-based. Why is this value-based? Because everyone in your niche needs it. Literally, everyone in business, period, needs it. But I'm just saying specifically the Make Money Online niche, everyone in your niche needs this. There are so many people who don't have this mindset, have that mentality. They think that they can do something one time. Like, for example, like I told you with the soap opera emails, I said, hey, yes, you put it together, but it doesn't mean that, you know, that's all you're going to do. You're going to tweak it over time, but you're going to visit that. It's not you do it once and, oh, yeah, I'm perfect. No, you get better with repetition, and that's basically what he's talking about. So I just wanted to show you that's an example, I mean, of how you can get, you know, content, and what you also can do to find other people. Like, you might say, hey, well, I don't know other people in my niche. I would say network marketing blog. I believe this is how I found another site, okay? And this is just an example. All right. It says top 100 network marketing blogs and websites. Okay. It says that right here. All right. So I would just go here, and all I'm looking for is other people. And let me see if this is the site, or this may just be another site. And all I'm looking for is other people in my niche if I don't already know the names. And you may not know the names, and that's fine. Right. Yeah, this is the site right here. Okay. And here's one that has a blog behind MLM. Eric Worre has a blog. Ray Higdon has a blog. So you see there's like a lot here, right? There's a lot here that have blogs. That's just another way that you can find people who are in your niche, right? And we just happen to be talking about the network marketing, affiliate marketing, all that niche. That's another way that you can find them and find their blog to get inspiration, not to copy, to get inspiration, okay? Now, another way that you can find content as well, all right, if you already are you know, posting videos on YouTube, which would be totally cool if you are, right? If you are already posting videos on YouTube, or if you have, you know, in the past posted videos, you can link back to your own content. Yes, I know, a novel idea, right? You can link back to your own content, meaning if you did a video, on mindset, you did a video on how to do something. It really doesn't matter what you did the video on, right? If you did a video that is pertaining to your niche, right, then you literally can link back to that video, write up a short email, kind of like outlining, not giving away the whole idea of the video, but kind of outline what they're about to learn in your video. And let me see if I can find one of my videos, okay? All right, now keep in mind too, the videos that you link people back to would be videos that are congruent with the people that are on that list, right? So let's say if you're putting this out for, let's just say, for example, if you're putting these emails out for your sequence for Direct Mail Pro, right? Then let's go, where is it? Here, okay? Then the videos that you put out, all right, you can link them back to some Direct Mail Pro videos. It's congruent, right? Especially if you're teaching people how to do something in Direct Mail Pro. And that's one thing that I do. A good bit of the videos, not all of them, but a good bit of the videos are like how to do this with that particular opportunity, how to do this, how to do that, right? So it's congruent as well, you know, so don't think that, oh man, I don't know what videos to send them. You already know your niche, right? You already know what type of videos you put out, right? So let me go to give an example, your channel here, and let me just look for some videos that I did. All right, now here's some videos that I did. So let's see, these are the series that we're going through now, okay? But hey, okay, like for me, all right, because I'm doing this series with you guys, right? I literally could link out to part 1 and part 2, right? Because just because, you know, this is part 3 right here for how to start an online business from scratch, right? They may haven't seen part 1 and part 2, right? Remember, this is my emails that I'm sending out. There's no guarantee that they saw any of this. There's no guarantee, right? So I could literally link out to this because this is valuable information. This is valuable content that I put together, right? If my list is about Direct Mail Pro, I happen to have done a couple of videos on Direct Mail Pro. I could literally link out to this. When I say link out, meaning I'll write up a little email, right? It doesn't have to be long, right? Write up a little email, and then the link that I send them to could literally be my video, right? Giving them some insight on that, okay? And this is going to be the same for any type of video that you did. And these are some of my older videos right here. And let me see over here. Well, basically, you want to choose any of the videos that you have, that you have done some type of content, and you want it to be congruent with the list. So if it's a Direct Mail Pro list, you don't want to send a Direct Mail Pro list and then telling them to sign up for, let's just say, Boomerang, right? I'm not in iBoomerang, but I'm just saying it's not congruent. That's not the list that they're on, right? You don't want to just be hitting them up with all of these different offers that don't have nothing to do with the other thing, right? Because that's when people feel like you're spamming them. It's like, I got on this list for that, and you're sending me this other thing that has nothing to do with that, right? If it's congruent, like for instance, let's say you send them out something, you did a video on ClickFunnels, right? All right. Now, as long as that video is telling them how they can increase, their business by using ClickFunnels, then that's congruent, because they're going to need ClickFunnels. They're going to need something, right? And if you are recommending ClickFunnels, then that's what you are sending them information on, right? So that just gives you an idea of basically 3 different ways you can get content that you are actually for, because Facebook is also content where you'll do like your Facebook lives, Facebook posts that are value based, right? Not just the ones say, hey, I'm deleting everyone today, so you better say hi. Not those. No, not those. Those don't have value, right? Okay, but your post that you're helping someone learn something, you're enlightening them, all of those have value to your particular audience. So you can link back out when you write a short email, just kind of like an excerpt of what it's about, and say, hey, check it out at this link right here. And all of that is going to give a person an opportunity to get to know you. So we talked about like 4 different ways that you can get value-based content, whether you created the value initially, like on Facebook or YouTube, or whether you are getting ideas for the value from other people's blogs who are in your niche. Notice I said the idea, okay? Do not copy people's stuff. Do not do that, all right? And get him done, all right? Now, and the other type of emails, remember, we're going to talk about 2. That was the value-based. I really want to show you how to do that. The other ones are the ones you probably got. I'm going to be honest with you. You probably got millions of examples of selling emails already. I'm not even going to lie to you. Now, I'm not saying they're the best emails that you have examples of, but there are some good ones out there. Some email swipes that you can kind of make into your own, because anything that you get, you want to make it into your own, right? When I say make it into your own, you get an email and it's like, hey, this is this opportunity, and this is how I was able to go from this to this, from $0 to my first $1,000 in 24 hours. If you didn't go from 0 to $1,000 in 24 hours, then you don't need to put that part. Don't lie, make it your own, right? Now you may say my mentor was able to use that to go from 0 to $1,000. Okay, great. If that happened to your mentor, awesome. But don't say it happened to you because you're using someone's email swipes and they said they made 1,000, but they did, but you didn't, right? So that's what I'm saying, right? And the one way that I have been able to kind of gather inspiration for the money-making type of emails is I'll opt into people's lists. I'm not afraid to give someone my email address. What are they going to do? Like, people act like, somebody's going to bite you, right? Nobody's going to bite you if you give them your email address, okay? If I see a person marketing and their message kind of looks interesting or what have you, I will opt into their page, right? And I will get their emails because they're going to email me, and I'll give a correct email address, right? I'm on a lot of people's lists, and they'll send out messages, and that will give me an idea, even if they're not in my opportunity. It doesn't matter, right? It could be in another opportunity, another business opportunity, because they're going to be sending me sales messages. I know they're going to be sending me sales messages, but I can use that as inspiration to make sales messages myself. And I know all of you have some sales messages in your inbox. Everybody does, okay? Just opt into a few lists, right? Meaning give up that email address and you'll have them in no time, like in 24 hours. You will have plenty of sales messages. All right, so our homework, all right, for next class, our homework for next class, for one, like I said, number 1, make sure, let me go ahead and take off the screen share here. So I'll make sure you got me. All right. For one, make sure that you have checked out your initial story and just made sure that the emails that you created are congruent. Okay. And then number two, all right, is I want you to create one value-based email, okay, based on the strategy I just told you, based on the multiple strategies I just gave you, okay, and one, I know it says two, but one, all right, and one email that is selling, okay, that is, you know, the ones that, you know, you guys probably get most often, one that is more geared towards the selling of your opportunity or your product. All right, so one value-based email, one selling email, and making sure that the soap opera sequence emails that you made are congruent with the original story that you created the very first time. All right, so it's really only three things, okay? And the reason why I'm only having you do one value-based email is because once you do it, right, and you understand how to do it, right, then you will be able to repeat that process every single day for yourself, right? That's why I only need to have you make one, because once you understand it, and you know, we're able to critique it and everything. If you show up live on the training, we're able to critique it. Then it's like, oh, okay, I know how to create a value-based email. I have ideas of where to pull it from, and you'll get more ideas of where to pull these value-based emails from. And the same thing with the sales email. Once you do it, right, then you're like, oh, okay, now I get it. I know how to create a sales email. So then you'll be able to do it each and every day. So that way you can build up the emails that you have in your autoresponder. Okay, because of course, that's going to be one of our tasks in the future, in the very near future, right, that I'm going to assign to you. All right. So that's your homework for the next time. And our next training, what I'll do is I'll actually post that in the Facebook group. So if you haven't gotten inside of Advanced Marketers Academy Social Edition, definitely you need to get inside of there. All right. So I can post the next training so that way you can be aboard. I'll make sure that I leave a link down below so that you can jump aboard with Advanced Marketers Academy, get inside of our training group. All right. For ongoing support for your marketing efforts. Because it doesn't matter who your sponsor is. It doesn't matter, right, if you made money, if you haven't made money or whatever, right? You're always going to need support. You're always going to need marketing training. And it always helps if you have a whole group of people to ping things off of, you know, that's going to help you moving forward. All right. So other than that, hopefully you have found this valuable. If you have, put a like on the video. You know what? Put a heart, right? Put a heart on it, share it so that way other people can take advantage of that. And definitely look for that link down below. If you happen to be watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, right? So that way you can be updated the very next time I come out with some content, because I'm definitely bringing it to you every single week. All right, the tips, tricks, tools, the mindset. And this has been how to start an online business from scratch, part 3. And we have more parts coming up. All right. So other than that, guys, you already know this is D Card Lady, and we're gonna take this ride to the top, baby. All right, here we out.